We finally made it back out to the garage for our next episode on the Redneck Supra. If this is the first time you guys have joined the channel, this is our 2000 Mustang that we've put a 4.2 Vortec Atlas GM straight six motor in it. Future plans will include a turbo, of course. Also made it to a 5-speed transmission, so this car is a lot of fun to drive, but it needs a little help in the suspension department. Out front, we've got coilovers, strange 9010s, and out back, stock. So we're gonna change out today when we install a set of these dudes. So same thing we're rocking in the back, but this time set for the rear and hooked up on Hyperco springs. So we're gonna show you how to install these on the back of a Ford Mustang, 8.8 coilovers. Let's get started. All right, first thing you wanna do is, of course, get your car up off the ground. We've been using these quick jack setups. Works great for this little garage. Don't have room for a lift, so that's our best option. So once it's up in the air, the next thing you're going to want to do is get under here and start unbolting things. Factory setup on these is, of course, a shock on the rear here and a coil spring actually located on the lower control arms. You'll notice those are not factory control arms. We actually installed a set of Team Z control arms provided to us by Team 269 Motorsports. Be sure to check them out, and I'll link the video below or in the comments here. So we're going to start by removing both the shock and the spring. Probably first by unbolting that shock so we can lower that down and get that spring out of there. With both rear wheels and tires removed, we can now easily access this rear bolt to remove it. I'm just going to use a 15 on a swivel socket here. And again, make sure you have that rear end held up with a jack. That way it doesn't fall down on you. Let's go ahead and remove the other side, and we'll start to lower this thing down and see if we can get that spring out. Now we'll slowly lift the rear end down. You'll see our shocks come out of the mounting position there. Looks like our driver's side needs a little bit more persuasion. Pry bar would be the way to do this, but for now we'll just pull it out that way. Okay, looks like we've come all the way down that our arms will let us. Let's see if we can get those springs out. Okay, you may have to use a pry bar, push down a little bit more on this, but as you can see, that spring just fell right on out for us. Bring this down enough. Slide it on out. Don't forget to make sure that you get your isolator on the top as well as the bottom if still there. We won't be needing those anymore. And that's all there is for the spring removal. Next, we'll hop up into the trunk, take a look at the upper shock mount. Once inside the trunk, you may need to remove a couple panels up here. I think I can get access by just pulling this piece of carpet back. Might be a clip or two, depending on how yours is. I think this carpet has been messed with a few times, so some of the pieces might be gone. When we slide that out of the way, you guys can see that. There's our upper mount. So figure out what size that is. Let's see if we can get that out of there. Simple 14mm bolt on there. Using a electric ratchet or impact is the easiest way because it may spin. If not, you can put a smaller wrench on the top or a pair of pliers while you get this out manually. Once the nut's removed, pull it out from the bottom. Be sure to remove any remaining factory stuff, and we're ready for install. So now we've got both shocks off here. I want to give you a quick look at what we're working with. So it looks like there was some Gabriel Ultras. I actually tried to push these down manually. This one goes down, doesn't really come back up, and this one is extremely difficult to push down. So I'm going to say we've got one sloppy one, one that's not moving at all. Either way, bad combination for what we're doing. Over here, we've got our single adjustable. So this adjusts both compression and rebound. The 240 here has double adjustables because we want that ultimate control. This is more of a street car, and I want to keep it that way. So I didn't even tempt myself. We're sticking with these 9010s from Strange. And then again, we've got these Hyperco. We're going to try out the 12-inch 150s, see where that puts us on the car. And if we have to, we can always make adjustments. Now, I've just got this spring sitting here. This is how we'll adjust our ride height. And if we need to put any preload on it, just kind of depends on how everything sets. But we're going to go ahead and reverse what we've done so far and install these. And makes it so much easier because now there's no spring to mess with. It's already here on the shock, on the coilover, hence the name. So as long as we've got enough room around our exhaust on the passenger side, should be plenty fine. We'll go ahead and get these installed. So now that we have our old shocks out, we need to go install our new coilovers. Our top mount's just the same, 2 bushings, kind of squished in between the body. The bottom uses a slightly different mount. Let me go ahead and show you those because we do have to make a slight modification to our 8.8 diff. Here's a look at our new Strange mount and our factory mount. 21 millimeter nut on the back side here. We'll get this out. Once removed, you can kind of see it's a little bit different. We have a locator up top and then just a single stud. The new Strange mount uses 2 bolts through the axle housing, and this upper one we will need to drill out to get this bolt to fit. Let you know what size drill bit you need, and then we can get this mounted, and we'll go ahead and knock out the other side as well. All right, with the mount on here, go ahead and make a mark, and we'll go ahead and drill that top one out. I'm gonna take this back off, drill that hole, mount them both up. And there you go, with our new hole drilled, got our bracket in place. Gonna go ahead and put our shock in up top, right there through that hole, and then bolt her in down here. I have the shock just barely resting on the bottom. And since it is a bit shorter, I think we're gonna have to, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt the bottom of the shock in place, and then I'll raise it up with the jack, the whole rear diff, and that way we can slide that in and be able to get that nut on the top. I'll have to double check the instructions, but I want to say it said only needs like 10 foot-pounds on there. We'll start with that. Our bushing on first. And our washer. And once again, 14 millimeter nut. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and measure my collar, make sure both sides are the same. So I've got that locked in. I'm going to measure from the bottom to the bottom of this coil, which is just right out about 4 1/4. Take a look at the other side. I'd say we're sitting at about the same spot. Just under 4 1/4. So I'd say that's good. Go ahead and lock those. I've got the old tools sitting over here. If you didn't have any, make sure you buy some. Got some space, not a lot. When this is compressed, the spring compresses, that'll actually go higher than that. This collar will sit up above it. And then if we end up with longer springs, it'll probably sit down here. So let's go ahead and lock those collars and then put the wheels back on. Not too bad. The lower brackets are a little bit of a pain in the butt, but all in all, probably one of the easier things I've done on the suspension of this car so far. So let's put those wheels on. With our carpet back in place and our wheels torqued, we can go ahead and let this down all the way. See where we're sitting. Now, those springs will probably settle a little bit, but I think we definitely need to go lower. Okay, so based on where the front is currently sitting height-wise, I think I need to go a little lower in the rear. This is the tool we'll use to unlock the coilovers. We'll drop them down. I'm probably gonna go about 1/2 inch, so we're sitting at 4 1/4. So based on the way I'm measuring it, we'll drop it down to about 3 3/4, and then we'll set it back down and see how that fits. Eventually, I think I'm gonna get shorter springs for the front and maybe drop the front down a little bit low. I'm not trying to slam this car, but I want it to look pretty good. And right now it's got way too much gap in the back. So let's go ahead and adjust that. All right, we'll double check our measurement one more time before we change this, but it does appear we are sitting, yeah, right at 4 1/4 from the bottom of this to the bottom of our shock. So let's bring that down to about here, 3 3/4. May even go just a little bit lower. So we got to unlock our bottom collar. That's what locks this in place so it doesn't move on us. Really supposed to have 2 of these. I think I have another one somewhere. Might have to go grab it. Yeah, of course this one locked all the way on me. All right, got the bottom one loose here. Couldn't find my other tool, but if you just smack it real quick with a hammer, put this on here, smack it, typically comes loose. So, tape measure. Again, we were about 4 1/4, half an inch. I think we're actually gonna go 3/4 of an inch. So that's 3 1/2. Hopefully I don't drop it too much, but we'll see. Can always raise it back up. That's the best part about coilovers, is you get full adjustability. Right about there. So we'll go ahead and wind this one down. Now this will probably pull our spring off of our upper mount. So if we stick with these, we may do a helper. And what that will do is keep the spring located up top, which is always really nice. Right about there. So we'll hold this bottom one, tighten this, have our tool, hold our upper collar in place, lock it in. I probably just moved it. Double check our measurement. Yeah, I went too far. Now we don't have the spring holding it up, so it's probably where we need 2 tools, but we'll let it go for now. All right, that set us right at 1 1/2. I may try to lock this once it's back down on the ground. Okay, I'll knock out the other side and then we'll see where we're sitting. All right, let's see what it looks like now. Now you'll hear the springs all sit because they're trying to center up again. That's what I was talking about with the helper spring. You wouldn't hear that. All right, the only other thing we have to do is jounce the rear end. It's not settled all the way. Okay, so there's a better look at it. Definitely came down some. I think we could honestly go more, but for now, with how the front sits, that's not terrible. I think we'll get lower springs for the front, then we can drop the back more, because in the video, it looks like a lot more gap than it is. Let me see if I can zoom out for you guys. That's probably about where it was sitting before, to be honest with you. The bottom of the car looks fairly level, but now I'd like to drop the whole thing down. So we'll probably do that in another episode. Let me clean up this garage, take it out for a ride, and maybe I can get a little bit better view of what it looks like. And hopefully it handles better than it did before as well. Let's go for a test drive. Well, it seems a bit more firm. Haven't really gone around the corners or anything, but quite a bit less bouncy than it was before. So I think we've got some minor tweaks to do on it, but all in all, not bad. It is winter here, so I don't know how much driving I'll get to do with this car. Being rear-wheel drive, and it's got some old summer tires on it. So we'll see if we can get a set of tires and go from there. Well guys, we're back from that test drive, and I gotta say the car drives so much better than it did before. No more of that bounciness it had, you know, when I was going over bumps with I think with the good suspension on the front and the factory suspension on the back, especially that shock might have been blown and one of them seemed like it was seized. So much better, a bit more confidence going around in the old roundabouts here that we have. Now it is winter time, and again, we're on some old summer tires, so I didn't push it. And it is a Mustang. They have a history. But all in all, much better. Very happy with that. Shout out to my buddy Evan over there at Hyperco. Gonna set up with those springs. I think he spec'd them out perfect. As far as the back goes, we've got plenty of range to go lower if we want. We'll get with him and do something on the front. Maybe we can drop that front down just a little bit more, give this thing a little bit more of an aggressive stance, but still streetable, because again, this is a street car. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, comment down below what you want to see us do next. Still gathering parts, doing stuff here and there, trying to improve, you know, the drivability of this car every chance we can. It is winter, so I don't know what all we'll get to do, but when we have a nice day, we'll be sure to drive it. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Here's a bit better view outside the garage of our fronts. Like I said, I'd like to go down just a little bit more. And then now that we've driven it, the back. So, all in all, I think it's a really good stance on this thing. I think it looks great. But I think we could bring her down just a little bit more. We've got plenty of ground clearance. So, I think that's what we'll do. Again, guys, thanks for watching.